So the new Team Go Rocket event is starting around the world in Pokemon Go, and as always, we're going to run through all the event details and all the tips and tricks for this event. These are some of my favorite events. I hope they are yours. Let's get right into it. So this event is going to be June 21st at 12 a.m. to June 25th, 11:59 p.m. So yes, this event does start at midnight. Bonuses during the event, Team Go Rocket grunts will be appearing more frequently at Pokestops, as well as every 3 hours above you in balloons. Also, you can use a regular Charge-Sham or an Elite Charge-Sham to remove the legacy move Frustration that every Shadow Pokemon has when they come to you. So if you have any useless Shadow Pokemon right now, you can remove Frustration during this specific event. Just use a TM, it'll be gone forever. We'll have 6 new Shadow Pokemon during this event. Shadow Alolan Geodude, Shadow Leddyba, Shadow Hitmontop, Shadow Glameow, and Shadow Gible all making their debut. Those ones being in grunts, of course, and of course, Shadow Regirock making its debut from Giovanni. Also, Cliff, Sierra, and Arlo are getting new Shadow Pokemon, as always, with Arlo now having Shadow Apom as a reward, which means you can get Shiny Shadow Apom, Cliff having Shadow Aerodactyl as a reward, which means you can get Shiny Shadow Aerodactyl, and Sierra having Shadow Geodude as a reward, which means you can get Shiny Shadow Geodude. The best lineups, really, like Aerodactyl's like the only meta-relevant one here, but there are 2 new Shiny Shadows in there, in which Apom and Geodude are 2 new ones, so you can hunt those. We'll have new 12-kilometer egg pool, hatching Larvitar, Absol, Skorupi, Sandile, Scraggy, Ponyard, Vullaby, Dino, Pancham, Inkay, Skrelp, and Salandit. Yes, you did see that right. Pancham gonna be the new shiny for this event, Shiny Pancham and Pangoro. And we'll have some exclusive Shadow Raids during the event, in which 1-star Shadow Raids will be Shadow Growlithe, Shadow Abra, Shadow Starly, and Shadow Mareep. 3-star Shadow Raids will be Shadow Gligar, Shadow Sneasel, Shadow Throw in North America, South America, and Africa, and Shadow Sock in Europe, Asia, and Australia. Finally, on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, Shadow Articunos are going to be in Shadow Raids. Now, we also have some exclusive field research going down during the event. The task is going to be defeat 2 Team Rocket grunts for a mysterious component, same as pretty much all Team Rocket events. There also is going to be a new special research, a shadowy disturbance that will lead to a black Super Rocket radar encounter. However, for some reason, this research was not given to people as the event started, and there seems to be some sort of glitch going on at Niantic where they're not, like, the research is not available. But when the research does get confirmed and starts coming to everyone around the world, I will link below LeakDuck so you guys go check out all the tasks, but it's probably going to be pretty similar to past Team Go Rocket researches, so just check the link below. With all the event details away, let's get right into the tips, starting with the new Shadow Pokemon, and which are going to be the big winners and ones you want to hunt this event. First of all, we have Shadow Geodude, which evolves into Shadow Alolan Golem, which does get a little buff as a rock-type raid attacker. Going to be number 14 overall. Not really the greatest Pokemon to grind, but it did get a buff with the Shadow form. Also, Shadow Alolan Graveler will be a little bit better in some limited metas, in which that Pokemon is not bad there, like in things like the Retro Cup. The only other notable upgrade is going to be Shadow Gible, which of course is debuting probably from the Dragon Grunt, which we now have Shadow Garchomp. Shadow Garchomp, of course, going to be strong in the Master League and the Master Premier Cup, although regular Garchomp does seem a little stronger. However, if you are running a Shadow, make sure you run the Dragon Tail moveset on it because it's going to be a lot more effective there. But more so, Shadow Garchomp gets a huge upgrades in raids. Not including Megas, Shadow Garchomp is now the number 1 overall ground type raid attacker and number 2 overall dragon type raid attacker. An absolutely insanely strong dragon type Pokemon and ground type Pokemon, one of the best Shadows really that we've ever had. So definitely go ahead and grab this new Shadow. Other than that, the rest of the grunt lineups is unconfirmed yet. The research still needs to be done. Now we also have new leader Shadow Pokemon out of Arlo's Apom, Cliff's Aerodactyl, and Sierra's Geodude. Which one's the best to go after here? Well, first of all, Apom, useless. Don't hunt that thing unless you want the shiny Shadow. Shadow Aerodactyl is a decent rock type raid attacking Pokemon, and it's also pretty good in the Flying Cup, as well as you can purify them if you want to get a 100% IV Aerodactyl or a high IV Aerodactyl, because you do get +2 IV points every time you purify a Pokemon. And of course, Shadow Geodude, Shadow Golem, not a bad rock type raid attacker, so you go ahead and get that Pokemon if you want. This is all into Giovanni's new Pokemon, Shadow Regirock, which for the first time in a while, I would actually say is not a bad Pokemon to get. First, let's talk about where it's good. Shadow Regirock, not a bad Great League Pokemon, although Registeel is better, and then also not a bad Ultra League Pokemon. The reason I really like Shadow Regirock is because it's really hard to get a Great League Regirock. It's not available from raids because the CP you catch is too high, only available from research, which we had a couple times. So if you do not have a Great League Regirock, Shadow Regirock can be one of your best opportunities to get it, and also having Lock On, Stone Edge, and Focus Blast is a great moveset for the meta right now, being able to answer those flyers, being able to answer those Steel type Pokemon. Although you do struggle against Medicham, which is pretty popular, it's still not bad. Has a decent matchup versus things like Dugong, etc. So overall, I don't mind getting Shadow Regirock if you want. To get Shadow Regirock, by the way, you want to use that Black Rocket Radar to battle Giovanni that you get from the new special research, a Shadowy Disturbance, which you can then battle Giovanni once it is past June 21st. However, if you do not want to catch Shadow Regirock and rather save that Black Rocket Radar and get multiple of a future Giovanni Pokemon, what you can do is a technique called stacking radars. It's not really stacking radars, but let me explain it quickly and then link take you to a better resource. If you don't know, you cannot hold more than 2 Giovanni researches at once. So if you have one of the old Giovanni researches that gets you the Black Record Radar still, and it's incomplete, you will not get the Shadowy Disturbance special research. But what you can do for some reason, if you don't go past page 1 of a Giovanni special research, a Team Go Rocket special research, for some reason, you get the new one. So if you do not want to battle Shadow Regirock, you can go ahead and not complete a single page of a Shadowy Disturbance. Just keep it in your special research tab. It will never disappear. It's a special research. And then in like 3 months or so, when the new Team Rocket special research comes out, you should get that new special research and just kind of stack those researches until the Shadow Legendary you care about, like Shadow Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, whatever comes out. Complete all the researches at once. You get maybe 2-3 Black Record Radars, and you can battle Giovanni like 2-3 times, get 2 or 3 Shadow Rayquazas, etc., etc. If you want to learn more about this strategy, go ahead and check out my video up here. I have a full video breaking down the full strategy and the steps you need to take and why this is the only strategy that works. A lot of people are also saying that stacking radars is useless now, saving those radars is useless, but I still don't believe that. Just because we do have Shadow Raids for Shadow Legendaries does not mean the new Shadow Legendaries are going to be released in Shadow Raids. It's always going to be old ones. So if you want to be the first to have 2, 3, 4, 5 Shadow Rayquazas, you're going to have to stack radars, or else you're going to have to wait multiple years until it comes to Giovanni, and then it go, and then finally Shadow Rayquaza or whatever comes to Shadow Raids, because the Shadow Raids are always going to be old Shadow Pokemon that have already been released. All the new Shadow Pokemon, the new fun ones that people want, are going to always be from Giovanni. Okay, now a huge part of this event is going to be TMing the move Frustration away. So I want to go through how to most effectively do this. You can come into your search thread here and search at Frustration, and this will show you all the Pokemon you own that know the move Frustration. What I would recommend doing before this event or even during this event is always be coming in here and checking all your good IV Shadow Pokemon. For example, if there's a good IV Shadow Pokemon in here, I don't know, this Onix maybe PvP, you can come in here, quickly go ahead, come in here, Charge Gem, remove Frustration. Obviously, I can't do it during this event because the event hasn't started, but once the event starts, that should work. Then all those Pokemon will slowly disappear, leaving you with all those Shadow Pokemon that know Frustration that have bad IVs that you don't care about. You can go ahead and then select all and transfer all your bad IV Shadow Pokemon. When coming with IVs for Shadow Pokemon, a lot of people ask me, are they the same? Do they work the same as regular Pokemon? Yes, they do. Generally for PvP, you're going to want low attack, high defense, high stamina. That's as always for most Pokemon. Their IVs are always going to be the same, like this is a decent PvP IV Shadow Onix. And then if it comes to a raid attacking Shadow Pokemon, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and just go for the highest attack. Like for example, this is a pretty good Shadow Articuno if I was going to use it for raids. Obviously the better overall IVs, the better, but generally looking for that high attack if you're using a raid attacking Pokemon. Well, let's get into our Platinum Medal tips and what are the best Platinum Medals to grind during this event. And there's one specifically you want to look after. That's going to be the Purifier Medal. Purify 1,000 Shadow Pokemon. And that's because before you go ahead and transfer all your Shadow Pokemon, it might be worth to just go ahead and purify them to work on this medal. However, if you want to save Stardust by doing this medal, you can go ahead and purify the 1,000 Stardust Pokemon. Yes, these are Pokemon that only cost 1,000 stars to purify. They're going to be the cheapest to go after. That's going to include Shadow Weedle, Shadow Rattata, Shadow Alolan Rattata, Shadow Zubat, Shadow Geodude, Shadow Magikarp, Shadow Whismur, Shadow Wailmer, Shadow Starly, Shadow Aeron, Shadow Patrat, Shadow Purloin, Shadow Ducklet, and Shadow Fungus. All these Pokemon only cost 1,000 stars to purify, so if you catch any of them during this event and they're bad IVs, you can purify them before you transfer them. Also, of course, during this event, you can work on your Hero Medal, defeat 2,000 Team Go Rocket members. Team Rocket's going to be everywhere. It is a Team Rocket based event. And finally, one of the best medals to complete during this event is going to be the Ultra Hero Medal. Reason why is because actually this Team Go Rocket Radar is going to mark the 20th Team Go Rocket Radar available without sort of glitches in Pokemon Go if you've been playing since the start. Obviously, I'm only at 12, but I have a couple stacked. But if you've been playing consistently since the start of Pokemon Go, every single event, you should have 20 Team Go Rocket Radars, which means you could have defeated Giovanni 20 times and complete to get the Giovanni gloves here and the Giovanni shirt. So if you're one of those people who battle, every single Giovanni, every single Shadow Legendary, you have every single one, this should be your 20th if you've been playing since the start. So you can go ahead and finally gold this medal. But then we're gonna have to wait a while before we can platinum it to do 50 because, we gotta wait to get those rated. Nonetheless, guys, that is my tips for this event. If you guys are excited for this event, let me know in the comments below and let me know any other tips I might have missed for it. Also, this event is going on with the Solstice Horizons event. So if you want to learn about that, check out the video right below me. Got plenty of tips for that event because they're kind of like coinciding at the same time. Nonetheless, good luck during Team Go Rocket Takeover. I hope you guys are excited and come tune into my stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. EST. See you in the next one. Peace.